Okay, Shalom Chevra. I want to remind everyone that the Siyat Shmai we're having right now, our big fundraising campaign for all of our friends and family around the world to help bring the wisdom of Torah that was given to us by the Master of the universe, the Creator of heaven and earth, and as a way of steering humanity in the right direction, to understand that we have a purpose in this world, that we don't come from monkeys, that there's direction, that everything is designed with intelligence, including us, and there's a mission for us in our lives. And there's a link below at the bottom. And to get involved, we're offering an amazing opportunity to be involved. And this is going to be funds, like it says in this week's parsha, that Klal Yisrael was throwing the gold and the silver and the copper and all of their money to build a home for God. And when you give that with a good heart, with a giving heart, it makes a home for God. What does that mean, a home for God? God doesn't have a home. He's not physical. A home for God means when you do the actions that make it that Hashem, so to speak, can now come and dwell, that you could feel His presence, that the divine presence can now rest in this world. That's called making a home for God. And reaching out to people who are not affiliated, reaching out to teach humanity that there's a Creator, that's called making a home, that's called making a place where now Hashem's presence can dwell. And that's the purpose of life, to have a part of that. So we're offering everyone to have a part of that. The link is at the bottom. Get involved. We're in Reb Nachman, and I just want to see very quickly, look at Zion. We're talking about the tzaddik, we're talking about nullifying haughtiness, we're talking about clapping, that the clapping is, and the dancing is something that comes from the excitement of your heart, and that's going to cancel out all the idol worship of whoever's been with us for the last 10 classes, has seen the build up here. So I'm going to read Zion a little bit quickly. The Torah herself has an element of hands and feet. Doesn't mean that, when you open up a book, this one's a hand one, that looks like we don't mean hands and feet literally, we mean the idea of a hand and a foot. The Torah herself has what's called revealed parts of the Torah, and the Torah has the hidden, mystical, Kabbalistic part of the Torah. Which one of those parts do you think are the hands, and which one do you think is the feet? Is the hidden part of the Torah the hands or the feet? The feet, good. The revealed part is the hands. On a simple level, your hands are revealed, your feet are not. You might say, but if you live in a place that they walk around in sandals, the feet are also. The feet doesn't just mean the feet, it means the whole leg, including the thigh. And we hope that places, and now the world has become so immodest, Hashem Yirachim, that people consider it normal to go with their thighs revealed, but that's not a modest way to live. Hands are modest, to keep your hands out, that is modest. But to have your thighs exposed, that's not modest. Contrary that, but they do it over here in Ibiza or wherever, that's already normal. That doesn't make it normal. And therefore, the hands are the revealed part of the Torah, like we're going to see more in a moment. And the legs are called the hidden, because the legs are supposed to stay hidden. There's certain secrets of Torah that are hidden. And Reb Nachman brings psukim. And the Torah herself, the entire Torah, the klolos ha-Torah nikra leiv, and the entirety of the Torah is called a heart. Why is that? Because what's the first word of the Torah? Who knows? Bereshis, which is a vase. Well, we don't know. Is it a vase or a vase? How do you know it's a vase? Maybe it's a vase. Maybe you read it voracious. How do you know? A dot? I don't know. Do you have a dot in your Sefer Torah? Maybe a vase is really an aleph. What do you say about that, Jonah? How do you know it's a vase? Who told you that?
My rabbis.
Your rabbi told you that. Where did he hear that from?
His rabbi.
And where did he hear that from?
His rabbi.
And?
So on and so on and so on.
Until where?
Until Moshe Rabbeinu.
Where did Moshe hear it from?
Hashem.
God. That's right. And if anybody wants to say, well, I believe in the written Torah, but not the oral Torah, how do you even read the written Torah? Remember this. Anybody who says, I believe in the written Torah, but not the oral tradition, you simply respond to them, well, how do you even read the written Torah? It's not given with any nekudas, with any vowelization. And by the way, the words don't move. This is what Vanessa and Weiss and I were just learning. The letters don't move without vowels. The letters themselves are called dead. It's something we'll talk about later. It's more of a Kabbalistic idea. The letter's dead. It doesn't move. It only moves when you have a vowel, a nekuda there. So really, Torah Shebichsav by itself has no life in it, because you can't understand it. It needs Torah Shebal Peh, the written tradition, to move it. Okay? The first letter of the Torah is a Beis, you're right. Because we know, because we believe in Torah Shebal Peh, the written tradition. And we're all believers in Torah Shebal Peh. And that's one of the things that Mashiach is going to reveal to the world, is the power of Torah Shebal Peh. The power of the oral tradition. The oral tradition. And what's the last letter of the Torah? Neinei kol Yisrael Lamed. So you have a Lamed and a Beis is a Lev. The whole Torah, the inyan of the Torah is the Lev, is a heart. The Torah from the beginning to the end is the heart. That's what we're talking about right now, getting the Ruach moving through the heart. Now you might say, well, the first letter is Beis, the last letter is Lamed. That means Baal, like nothing. So the Vort that I always hear from my Rebbe, if you only learn the Torah one time from the beginning to the end, Baal, you have nothing. But if you go from the end of the Torah and you restart it, then you have a Lev. Then you start to feel the Torah. A person who just learns it one time, Baal, you don't have anything. That's why, what do the Jews do the second we finish the Torah?
Start it again.
We start it again right away. No, right away, say for Bereshis, Baralakim. What, stop for a little bit, Sit down, relax a little bit. Why you Jews are crazy. Just, relax. Take pride in the fact you finished the Torah. It took you a whole year. We're going to take pride in a second. We just have to start it again. What do we do when we finish Torah Shebal Peh? Start it again. Back to Emasai Kern Shema Ba'arvin. Me'emasai. Shematchelis bebeis u'mesayemis belamed shesham mishkan haruach, because the Lev is the place where the ruach is moving. The noshe b'shis pirkin, like we explained, ches. Let's get Perm Dick a little bit. V'zeh b'chenes Mordechai ve'Esther. Took us 10 shiurim to get to Purim, but now we're here. You guys ready to be Perm Dick for the next couple days? Yeah? I don't hear you. I'm just kidding. That's like this is not like a MetLife Stadium or anything. Even though it's okay to do Torah events over there like we did. I must say, I was at the last one in MetLife Stadium. Were you guys there for this one? So I was there the last one, I guess 8.5 years ago now. So it was so special because I remember getting there, and there's 92,000 very respectful people. And I think they had the same workers that day in and day out are working what team plays there?
The Jets.
The Jets. The New York Jets, okay? So that day in and day out, you have the Jets. Who else is playing there? You probably have concerts there. And I think it was the same employees. And I'm pretty sure it actually was. And we all walked in. Everyone was very polite. I was like, thank you very much. Thank you so much. It was very sweet and pleasant. And there was no alcohol being served. The whole place was clean and neat. And we sat down. And everyone was quiet when the rabbis were speaking. And then all of a sudden, when it was time to dance, the place went crazy. And I remember seeing, what do you think the staff were usually used to in a regular night at MetLife Stadium? Drunken, shirts off, yeah, whoever could just be the loudest, making some grunt of some animal noise, somehow wins. If you're just or if you have a blowhorn, one of those trumpet things, it's just, the louder you are, and generally that means obnoxious, you won. You're the man. You did it. And then and then beer. And I'm sure there's a few nice people, obviously, that come to MetLife Stadium on a regular just for an event. But the general avirah, the general feel, like you guys are all giving testimony to, is that it's a little bit sloppy. It's a little bit messy. It's not exactly a formal night out. And all of a sudden, for one night, there is an extremely a sense of such respect. When it was time to be quiet, a pin could drop. When it was time for the dancing, I'm sure it was louder than all those air horns. And the Yehei Shmei Rabbah, with 92,000 Yidden, I have goosebumps still thinking about it. It was unbelievable, unbelievable. Okay? So, let's start Purim. V'zeh b'chinas Mordechai v'Esther v'Haman. B'chinas Purim. Purim is a very interesting name for a holiday. Usually we name our holidays after something good that happened to us, even though Purim is called what? Purim is called Hippil Pur Hua Goyrau. Purim, Pur, were the lots, was the gamble, was the gambling game that Haman played in order to know which month to destroy the Jews. I wouldn't have thought you should name your holiday after the gambling game where Haman decided to destroy the entire Jewish nation, every single man, woman, and child in a single day. Happy Purim. Maybe go with something more pleasant, something more upbeat. We're going to have to get back to that. That's a famous question when we talk about Purim. Bechinas goyrel shehipul Haman bechinas oimer sa'oirim. We'll get back to that. Ki Haman bechinas ha'avodas elilim. Haman is the idea of idol worship itself. K'maimer chachameinu zechoin levracha, like Chazal themselves teach us, sha'asa atzmei avodas elilim. Haman made himself into an idol.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does that mean that Malik is the idea of idol worship itself?
Yeah, because whatever the children have, the shoyrish, maisa ava siman labanim, which means whatever the siman labanim is, was noilad from the avis. Yeah, Amalek is the avi avos atuma. And that's why the mitzvah of Purim, of Timche Zecher Amalek, even though what it means, Haman, no. Timche Zecher Amalek, we go all the way back to Amalek. Amalek is also the letters which we'll speak about more of Moloch. What's Moloch mean? Moloch, like Malika. I don't know what Malika is. Moloch means to cut off, which is the way that we do shechita for the birds in the Beis Hamikdash, the Kohanim. They have their fingernails. Either you're a Kohen or a Moel. So you have an interesting looking nail here. Malika, Moloch. What does Amalek want to be Moloch? To cut away the ayin. What's the ayin? If you spell out ayin, what is it the gematria of? Ayin 70. So ayin itself is 70. So ayin itself is the gematria sod, the secrets. Amalek wants to kill the secrets of life. He wants to kill the ayin. And ayin itself is 8130. Which is the gematria kol, the voice, a kol Yaakov. He kills that Yaakov Avinu is speaking within you, and he kills all the secrets within you. That's why you drink yayin. Is gematria sod. You drink yayin, drink wine to cancel out and to bring out the sod, to cancel out that Amalek wants to be moilek the ayin. So Amalek is the avi avos atuma of Haman, and Chazal says something interesting. What did he do? I'm reading you from the Medrash. He made himself some type of an embroidered idol-worshipping symbol on his clothing. And anybody who would bow down to Haman, because he made everybody bow down to him, he was memela. If you're bowing down to Haman, so you see the idol-worshipping symbol, you had some getchkala there, and you're going to bow down to the idol worship. Now, of course, who is the only person that did not bow down to Haman? Mordechai. Lo yishtachava. Mordechai would not move. We're going to have to explain that tomorrow. Everyone have a wonderful day. Yesher koyach.